original one. And this is the treated one, a lot more wide, deep, and compressed. Ciao and welcome to this new tutorial. Today I want to talk about effects and specifically FX chains or FX racks as you want to call them. As we know, we have 4 buses inside the ESP and we can use all the 4 buses at the same time. I want to give you some little idea to build your FX chain. Thanks to Dion Pinkerton to makes me think making a video about FX racks thanks to his comments. And before we start, if you want to support my channel, just check my Gumroad page for samples or one-on-one online dawless lesson services. You can book your lesson and go deep into the knowledge of your instrument. You can also support my channel on my Subvert page. This will really help. Thank you very much. So we have here 4 samples as an example, and those are the after samples. Now let's start with the kick. This is the more technical and general FX chain, and we have to set the buses. So FX settings, they are yet in serial. So now we have the bus 1 going into the bus 2, going into the bus 3, 4, and then the master output. We can use the 4 buses. Now we have to set all the sample on bus 1, as now the bus 3 and 4 are off. Now let's use the bus 1, and the first effects I want to use usually on kicks is the filter. This is, by the way, my first effect in my chains pretty much every time, and this is because I want to roll off the frequency I don't need on that specific sample, no matter if this is a kick or a hat or whatever. I want to filter out a little bit what I don't need. Now, of course, we want to use the high pass filter, and in this case I want to use the old trick to bump a little bit up the fundamental frequency of this kick. Nice, a little bit of bump. Now let's switch on the bus 2, and here I want to use an equalizer so I can really sculpt my kick. Now let's place all on 0. And now I want to use the 100, which usually is where the body of the kick is, the fundamental frequencies. You can try also 80. The mid frequency on 200 is good, and 2K on the eye is good. So let's carve a little bit the mid frequencies. Just a touch. You want to be really subtle. Add a little bit of high for the presence of the kick. And now a little bit of low. This is without. And this is with. More controlled and more punchy, right? Now it's time to go into the bus 3 and 4. So let's use, yeah, this one is good. So on bus 3, I want to use something that can add a little bit of distortion, a little bit of drive, and basically I want to excite a little bit more all the frequencies. And a good way to do that is the lo-fi. We have the filtering option, and this can gives you a little bit of distortion, a little bit of grain, tonal color, without changing too much your kick. And of course you can mix the two. Nice. It's a little bit more bumpy. And now let's switch on bus 4. Here I want to use a compressor. So this is really a technical chain. We are trying to make this kick better. So, compression. You have to be really careful with that. I usually set the ratio very, very low, and this is because this is only the first step. Usually then you want to mix your jams or your tracks in a DAW. So you will add compression, EQing, and stuff like that. We are sculpting the various instruments, the various samples, and preparing them for a good mix. This is the vision. So you have to be really careful, and we want to add a little bit of bite. This is the goal. So, slow attack and fast sustain release. Let's mess with the ratio. Yeah, just a touch. On 5. Now let's lower a little bit the volume, just to be sure that we don't hit the limits, and resample. Now let's switch off the buses, and this is the original, and this is the new one. If we want to raise up a little bit the volume of this single sample, you can use, as always, the compression, and voila. Now let's do the same thing for the other samples, and we have this hat part, and this RACKS can be applied to all what we call the top loops, cymbals, also percussions. It's more directed on that kind of sound. Again, bus 1 filter. This time we want to use a low pass filter. And I want to just get rid of this harsh highest frequency. And even if I have the cutoff on 100%, it's still stealing away some part of this harshness. With the resonance, I'm simply backing up a little bit of the highs. So let's leave like this. On bus 2, I want to use the tremolo. Usually I want to pan this kind of loops. So let's use the triangle wave. It's fine. Yes, something like this. It's nice. Now let's switch on the bus 3 and 4. let's use this, is good. So on bus 3, I want to use the crusher, which is a great way to add a little bit of grain and organic content, especially on hats or cymbals. Something like that. Again, very subtle. Nice. And on bus 4, I want to add a little bit of space, of reverb, which is very important, especially on top loops. Not too high in volume, but a little bit wider. Also, let's control the pre-delay. And it's very important to use the filter. This is annoying. You can hear all this kind of white noise on the back. And we can cut it off. Now we have the sense of space without this annoying harshness on the back. Nice. So let's resample. And yeah, it's more controlled and we have more space. Now let's treat the bass. Again, let's switch on bus 1, and the first effect I want to use, of course, is our filter on high pass filter, and we are gonna using the same trick as we have used on kick. So let's find yes, it's more big. Let's switch on bus 2, and usually, or most of the time, especially in those kind of basses, I want to use the chorus. I like to have my basses stereo. Just a touch. We don't have to overdo it. Add a little bit of noise. Nice. Let's switch on bus 3 and 4. And yeah, it's good. So bus 3. Now I want to use an equalizer. Here we go. We have to change the frequencies here. I want to leave on 80 because I want to bump up a little bit of the sub frequencies, and we can cut a little bit. Let's try on 250, maybe it's 200. It depends on the bass. And for now, let's leave at 8K. Let's try like this. Let's also switch off this here. And now. Yeah. 200 is good. And now the low. Let's try other frequencies also. Yeah, that's nice. And the last effect I want to use on this bass is another filter, but this time the filter drive. I want to add a little bit of low frequency here. We can leave the rest as it is. I don't want to add drive. This is just the final touch to add this little bump and have this round bass frequency. Nice, let's resample. There's a big difference. Let's give a cue on the last rack or idea I want to give on this video. This is the more creative one. Again, we want to use our filter. You are not forced to, but again, I like to make my frequencies right before really go into the effect. So I will affect the right amount of every frequency. I want to use the low pass. I want just to have a little bit more control on these high frequencies. Especially on the bells. Nice. On the bass 2, I want to use a modulation, but this time I use the flanger. You can use also the phaser. It depends on the loop, of course. Let's use the phaser for this example. I set the balance not too high. And then I want to hear this movement. But it should be pretty subtle. Yeah, this is cool. Now, let's switch on the bass 3 and 4. This is good. Let's switch off bass 4. And on bass 3, we can be creative. This is a pretty complex loop. And we can add something underneath that can really sustain a little bit this loop. And I want to use the SBF, which, as you know, I really like. This effect has a tons of application and different scenarios. So let's find something that we like. That's nice. We are adding a layer of complexity. Nice. And now, for the last effects on this chain, I want to use the Hadu. Which is a kind of reverb pitch shifting. As every reverb, we can carve the frequency. So do it. And we can choose the mod up is controlling the pitch. This is kind of the width of the room. Now let's use, of course, less. Nice. So we want to resample. Nice. So this is a great way to stack up your effects and make your sample sound better in basically 4 moves. We can avoid to resample multiple times. This way we are resampling only one time. We have to be aware of what we are doing because we are resampling one time only with 4 effects baked in. So it's impossible to go back. And this is basically the difference. So basically here my 2 cents on FX Rack. As always, I hope this tutorial will be useful for you. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Ciao!